have some cheers to Anoosh.
Cheers to Anoosh.
We missed him. Love it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ziba Shirazi. I'm here to share a story with you, a story that is familiar to many of you, a story worth sharing, the story of Anoosh. I know you all know that he was genuine, he was a true friend, he was selfless, he was caring, he was generous, he was a great listener, especially to women. He was a gentle person. He was charming. He had positive energy. He was funny. He was always smiling. He had a great sense of humor. He touched everyone. He was forgiving. He helped many without asking anything in return. He always carried a Macy's gift card. Did you all know that? For every unexpected occasion. He wasn't a show-off. He went out of his way to find job for jobless. Though girls had priority, but did you know that he even found a job for the homeless guy across the street from his work? He loved people. And he always had a group of people with him and around him, whether he was playing soccer, poker, having lunch, or having tea. He wanted people around him to be successful, as if it was his project in life. In short, he was a unique person. He loved life, and he loved playing soccer. Did you know he hated goodbyes? Perhaps that is why he didn't say goodbye to many of you. He's missed by everybody. Mandana misses him so much and wanted him to know that she's grateful for having him in his life. And she's wearing his favorite color, red, tonight. Michelle misses his smile. Azad misses his phone calls. Parviz misses the joy he wanted to give him when he was sad. Dr. Aryani misses his enthusiasm, positive attitude, and his happy face. Paul is missing his presence, the way he did everything, the little things that he did for you and its long-lasting effects, his thoughtful advices. Mehrdad misses everything about him. Having said all that, I wanted to share something more with you. So I asked Michael, his older brother, was 6 when Anoosh was born. I remember vividly. I was the first child, then it was my sister. We went to Shahmirzad for vacation. My mother was pregnant with Anoosh. Her labor started at 4 a.m. My father went after a midwife. Anoosh was born before their arrival. He rushed, coming to this world as September 7, 1958. I was so happy to have a brother. یک برادر، یک رفیق، یک همصدا آمد. انوش با 100 سلام و 100 دعا آمد. خانه پر شد از صدای خنده های ما. کودکی ها جان گرفت از نو صفا آمد. Years passed. I came to Tehran, the capital city, to go to the university. My father sent Anoosh with me. I was the older brother, in charge of money and Anoosh's allowance. I gave him a notepad, asking him to write down every penny he spent. The whole book was filled with soccer ball. He burst the ball almost every other day. He wanted to become a soccer player, like Pelé. He wasn't into school and studying, though he was always an A student. Unlike me, I was never good at school. My father loved Anoosh. I think being a straight A student was effective too. I was driving a 64 VW those days. Whenever Anoosh and his friend washed my car, I took them to the Tajrish circle in exchange. می رفتیم دور میدون تجریش می زدیم، حالی می کردیم. چه ساده بود دلخوشی همون، یادش به خیر بچه همون. دور میدون دور دنیامون بود. وای اگر خبر ز فردامون بود. Anoosh loved America. He passed the TOEFL test with a high score and came to America in 1977, seeking higher education and greater opportunities. He was very young when he married Asal's mom. Both of them were young. 17 years later, Asal was born. امان است عشق جوونی که میاد با مهربونی، وقتی رفت خاطره میشه. من میدونم تو میدونی. Anoosh رفیق باز بود. He loved making friends. If I had a party and invited all my friends and Anoosh, the next day they all became his friend. He easily connected with people. He was so charming, genuine, and easy to love. Anoosh had time for everybody. He listened to everybody patiently, laughing and enjoying every conversation. He loved people just the way they were and got along with everybody. با همه کنار می اومد. There was always a gathering at his home. He loved throwing parties. His door and his heart were open to everybody. من دلم میخواهد خانه ای داشته باشم پر دوست، کنج هر دیوارش دوستانم بنشینم دارم. گل بگو بشنو به درش برگ گلی میکوبم رویان با قلم سبز بهار می نویسم ای یار خانه دوستی ما اینجاست تا که سهراب نپرسد دیگر خانه دوست کجاست. You probably knew that he was a good friend of Hilton's general manager. You didn't? Then you probably haven't been to an Iranian wedding at the Hilton. Because any Iranian who wanted to have a wedding at the Hilton would find a way to find Anoosh. Anoosh would spend 2-3 days with them, taking them out to lunch, to breakfast, to dinner. At the Hilton, in order to get a good deal for them, every weekend he was invited to a wedding. When I asked him whose wedding, he replied, "You don't know them. I got a good deal for them at the Hilton." And when he saw me wide eyes, he replied, "Baradar, they're Iranian. Don't forget where we came from." He was great at connecting people without thinking what is in it for him. من با تو ام ای رفیق با تو همراه تو پیش می نهم گام در شادی تو شریک هستم بر جام می تو میزنم جام. I'm sure many of you know that he was leaving for Sizde Bedar, the 13th day of Nowruz. Every year, impatiently, he was waiting for Sizde Bedar to treat everybody to kebab. عاشق این بود سیزده بدر بشه کباب بده. پر میزد واسش. He hired 2 cooks to make kebab and invited over 100 people to the park, regardless of their race, gender, social class, and religion. And he treated them all the same. That was the beauty of him. He treated everybody with love. He offered kebab to anybody who was passing by. When I asked, "Baradar, did you know them?" He replied, "Baradar, they're Iranian. چه فرقی میکنه? What difference does it make?" He had the heart of God. He was a big giver, generous and simple. انگار که بودی محرم راز آن لحظه که شد دوستی آغاز لبخند به لب همیشه با عشق دست و دل و خانه روی تو باز. In 2005 he went to visit Asal. He went to Iran. My sister called saying that Anoosh is not feeling good. He's always tired. I forced him to see the doctor. But when we went there, the only thing he didn't talk about to the doctor was his sickness. He made friends with him. And now they are going to sauna, jacuzzi, and a spa together. That was Anoosh, all right. Master charmer, making more friends. 3 nights after he came back to the US, Michelle called and said that he cannot sleep at night. I forcefully took him to the doctor. As usual, he made friends with the doctor and talked to him about soccer and everything but his physical condition. I remember as we were leaving, doctor winked at me and said, "Michael, nothing to worry about. The test result will be in on Monday. I will call you." It was Monday afternoon when doctor called me. I was on my way to the airport, leaving for a business trip. He asked me to take the first exit out and park my car so he can give me the news. I did. He told me Anoosh's kidney is dead. Take him to the nearest hospital before his heart collapses. Anoosh had a hard time accepting it. For months, he was in absolute denial, and he kept asking, "Why me? Why me?" گاهی پشتش زیر سنگینی ها خم می شد، گاهی خنده روی لبهاش کم رنگ می شد، گاهی از خدا دلگیر و دلتنگ می شد. شادی می رفت و پر از غم می شد. Though many times he was questioning God, he never lost faith in God. He was a grateful believer. He was a big believer in charity and helping people in time of need and supporting many students in Iran. He always took good care of people that he worked with. Anytime that he felt his health was at risk, he wrote me a letter saying, "If anything happened to me, make sure all my employees have a job and they are getting paid." نمیدونم چجوری بود که به فکر همه بود، واسه اون شاه و گدا فرقی نمی کرد، یکی بود. We were different from one another, but very close. We would talk every day at 6 in the afternoon to see what's new. The Sunday before his death, we all gathered at my sister's home for Mother's Day. For the first time, I saw him quiet. He wasn't the same Anoosh. اون که هیچ وقت از همه جدا نبود، اون که یک لحظه تک و تنها نبود، یه جورایی تو خودش بود همه روز. کاش میدونستم چرا با من نبود. You want to know how I heard the news? I was in New York for business. It was a rainy day. I came back to the hotel from long meeting and asked the front desk to wake me up at 7 a.m. My phone rang at 6 a.m. It was my wife, Kathy, asking when I'm coming back. "What's going on?" I asked. "Nothing. Your father doesn't feel well. Can you come back on the next trip?" "Are the girls okay?" I asked. "They're fine. It's your father. I guess it's his heart. We are taking him to the hospital. He's asking for you. See if you can catch the next flight back home." I was shaking, didn't know what to expect. I called my father. He picked up the phone. I asked how he feels. Not very well, he said. Come home. Go to the hospital. I'm coming. Let me talk to Anoosh. I asked. He's downstairs, he said. I called Anoosh. He didn't pick up. I packed my suitcase and got into a cab and asked the cab driver to go around the loop at the airport till I find a flight back to LA. By the time I found the flight, it was 9 a.m. in New York, meaning 6 a.m. in Los Angeles. I called Vivian, a good doctor friend of Anoosh and family, and asked, do you know my father is sick? Yes, I was there last night, she said. How is he? I asked. Not too well. I felt there is something more. So I asked Vivian, I want to ask you a question, but I want the truth. Is Anoosh dead? Yes, she replied. Were you there? I asked. Yes, I did the final exam. Thank you. I rest my case. I rushed leaving, and he rushed leaving this world. On May 14, 2014, I hung up. I was devastated. به کجا چنین شتابان گون از نسیم پرسید دل من گرفت از اینجا هوس سفر نداری ز غبار این بیابان. Years ago, I had purchased a number of plots in Woodlawn Cemetery in Santa Monica to make life easy for my family when I'm gone. Anoosh asked for 3 of them, 2 weeks before his death. I thought he's being wise, never thought of him using it this soon. همه آرزویم اما چه کنم که بست پایم به کجا چنین شتابان به کجا چنین شتابان. Somehow he thought about everything. He had everybody's name on his will. He even had a personal list with names of the people that he trusted and given money at the time of need. به هر آن کجا که باشد به جز این سرایم دل من گرفته از اینجا ز غبار این بیابان. انوش که رفت کمرم شکست. I asked myself, how am I going to carry myself and the load without Anoosh behind me? Sometimes I found myself talking to him, asking, برادر, didn't you think of me when you were leaving? برادر, فکر ما را نکردی گذاشتی رفتی؟ همه آرزویم اما چه کنم که بست پایم به کجا چنین شتابان به کجا چنین شتابان. You know, many times when we had a family gathering, when there are at least 60, 70 of us, I used to joke telling everybody that in my next life, if I have a choice, I don't want to have to do anything with any of you. I'm not going to choose to be born in Shahmirzad in Mazandaran. I want to be born in New York in Rockefeller family. These days, when I go to cemetery, as I cry like a rainy day, I tell Anoosh, برادر, I changed my mind. I will make sure to pick you again in next life. And I hope you pick me. برادر, I changed my mind. به کجا چنین شتابان، به کجا چنین شتابان،
به تو میگم که نشو دیوونه ای دل، به تو میگم که نگی بهونه ای دل، من دیگه بچه نمیشم، دیگه بازی چه نمیشه، به تو میگم عاشقی ثمر نداره، واسه تو جز غم و درد سر نداره، من دیگه بچه نمیشم، دیگه بازی چه نمیشه، من دیگه بچه نمیشم.
هفته پیش از ایران اومدم. وقتی اومدم قیافه بابام جلو چشم بود که وایساده بود اون پالا برام دست تکون میده. همه جا هنوز حسش میکنم. یه حسی بهم میگه که اون همیشه با منه، هر جا که پا میذارم نگاش به دنبال منه. بچه که بودم عاشق این بودم که با بابام بریم چاکی چیز، به خصوص این که اسم زن چاکی هم هلن بود، هم اسم مامانم. من عاشق خانواده چاکی بودم. ایرانم که بودم همیشه حالش از بابام میپرسیدم، گرچه از اون روزا خیلی خیلی دورم، من پاراست خاطره های خوش و خوبم، پر لبخند، پر شادی، پر بوسه و محبت. من هنوز با خاطراتش جور جورم. هیچ میدونی من تا به سن قانونی رسیده بودم نمیدونستم پدر مادرم از هم جدا شدن. همیشه خیال میکردم بابام تو آمریکا کار میکنه، هر بار با 6 تا چمدون میاد ایران که من و مامانم رو ببینه و واسه من بهترین تولدا رو بگیره. وقتی بابام میومد ایران ما همه جا ستایی با هم بودیم، نهار، شام، این ور اون ور میرفتیم با هم. مامان بابام با هم خیلی دوست بودن. به سن قانونی که رسیدم ستایی رفتیم اداره گذرنامه که واسه من پاسپورت جدا بگیریم. خانمی که اونجا بود گفت برگه طلاقتون رو بیاری. من یهو به هر دوشون نگاه کردم گفتم شماها جدا شدی؟ قهر کردم. از اون قهرهای بچگونه. بهم گفتن طلاق یه برگه است. ما هم دیگر رو دوست داریم، با هم خوبیم. مگه تو چیزی دیدی؟ از هر دوشون تشکر میکنم که نذاشتن من تلخی در این مورد احساس کنم. 3 نفریمون زندگی خوبی داشتیم و با هم دوست بودیم. من بودم جیگر بابا، یک دونه تو دنیا. هر سمون عالمی داشتیم، من و دختر و مامان و بابا. هیچ خاطره بدی از پدرم ندارم. هر وقت با هم مشکل داشتیم منطقی با من حرف میزد و یه جوری دلمو به دست می آورد. بابام خیلی 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 قلب مهربونی داشت. از دعوا بدش میومد، از همه چی میگذشت. به هم یاد داده بود جواب بدی رو نباید با بدی داد. بابام واسه من از همه نظر کامل بود. با دوستان در مورد هر چی که صحبت میکردیم برای من بهترین مثال بابام بود. بیزینس بابام، شادی بابام، مثبت بودن بابام، بازی پوکر بابام، بهترین پارتی و مهمونی بابام. بابام مثل یه سلاح بود واسه من. هر وقت بهم فشار میومد و پیشش درد دل میکردم میگفت حالا بابا انوشت یه کاری واسط میکنه. دلم واسه دلگرمیایی که بهم میداد تنگ میشد. بهم میگفت تو زندگی ریسک کن، برو جلو، من پشتتم، ولی اول تو باید بری، من فقط دنبالت میام. وقتی بابامو بغل میکردم و بوش میکردم واسه یه عمر منو چارج میکرد. معلم خوبی بود. تو این 24 سال خیلی چیزا ازش یاد گرفتم. بابام خاکی بود. بین آدم سطح بالا و پایین هیچ فرقی نمیذاشت. سر هر سفره‌ای میشست. بهترین معلم من، سرمشق یاور من، پدرم بود. همه عمر تو خیال و باور من. چجوری خبر رو شنیدم؟ داشتم میرفتم عروسی بهترین دوستم تو تهران. پسرم زنگ زد گفت نگران نشی، هیچی نشده. بابات سکته کرده بیمارستانی، تو باید هر چی زودتر بری آمریکا. دیگه نمیفهمیدم چی کار میکنم. زنگ زدم خونمون تو آمریکا. خاله کتی جواب دادم. دلم لرزید. شک کردم. ولی خاله کتی خیلی محکم گفتم هیچی نیست. بابات حالش خوبه. فقط زودتر بیا. همین شب بلیت بگیر بیا. خیلی زود بلیت گرفتم. تو فیسبوک دیدم یکی از فامیلامون عکس سیاه زده. زیرش نوشته My cousin passed away. زنگ زدم به پدر بزرگم. گریه کنون گفتم فقط به من بگین نفس میکشه. فقط به من بگین نفس میکشه. پدر بزرگم گفت بابات حالش خوبه، بی خود ناراحت نشو، هیچی نیست. تمام طول پروازو گریه میکردم. یه لحظه تو خیالم عکس بابامو با مادر بزرگم کنار هم دیدم، ولی زود به خودم گفتم اصلا همچی چیزی امکان نداره. نه. خیلی حرفا آماده کرده بودم که برم بالا سرش بهش بزنم. میخواستم بهش بگم من اینجا پیشتم. تو باید باشی واسه من. باید قوی باشی که پیش من باشی. تو باید بمونی بچه های منو ببینی. وارد فرودگاه لس آنجلس که شدم، عمو و عمه‌هام و خیلی های دیگه اونجا بودن. من اصرار میکردم که یک راست بریم بیمارستان. سوار ماشین شدیم. تو ماشین همه ساکت بودن. اما شروع کرد خیلی دقیق و عمیق و کامل در مورد بیماری پدرم صحبت کردن. من همش پیش خودم میگفتم بابام که خوب بود، من خودم دیشب 1.5 ساعت باش تلفنی صحبت کردم. قرار گذاشته بودیم من واسه روز پدر بیام آمریکا. اما همه حرفا رو که زد یه جمله گفت که تا نتیجه من به دنیا بیاد از یادم نمیره. به هم گفت عمو شما از 2 شب پیش شدی دختر من. دنیا واسم عوض شد. وقتی رسیدم خونه دیدم همه اونجان 200 نفری بودن و فقط عکس بابا روی تاقچه بغل آینه و شمدون. عکسی از من و توه کنار گلدون. نگاه کردم به عکس عاشقونه، دلم لرزید برات گرفت بهونه. دلم میخواست همه رو بیرون کنم، بگم واسه چی اومدین اینجا، عکس بابامو بردارین. دلم میخواست همه چیمو بدم، 10 سال عمرم هم بدم که بابام پیشم باشه. صدای بابام تو گوشم بود که منو صدا میکرد دختر بابا، جیگر بابا. همون شب اومد تو خوابم. اون شلوار جینی پاش بود که من بدم میومد. همیشه میگفت این خیلی شیک که تو نمیفهمی. به هم گفت چرا انقدر بیتابی میکنی؟ من راضی نیستم، من همیشه پیشتم. اون شب به خودم گفتم من باید قوی باشم که اون خوشحال باشه. بابام 3 ماه قبل از این سفرش ایران بود. آخرین سفرش بود. سفر عجیبی بود. برای اولین بار به هم گفت عسل تو دیگه بزرگ شدی. این بار هدفتو دیدم، درستو دیدم، حرفاتو شنیدم. خیالم راحت، اون چیزی که میخواستم شده. الان فقط نگرانیم ازدواج و کارته. به طور عجیبی تو این سفر میخواست همه رو ببینه. بهش میگفتم حالا چه اصراریه این همه راه بریم فلانی رو ببینیم؟ میگفت نه من حتما تو این سفر باید ببینمش. دوستای بچگیاش، فامیل، همه رو دید و رفت. نکنه که بی هوا بری، نگی تو به من کجا بری. نکنه که بی خداحافظی من و تو بهزاری جا بری. دلم واسه صداش تنگ شده. صداش تو انسرینگ ماشینم دارم، خیلی بهش گوش میکنم. دوست داشتم تو روزای مهم زندگیم با من بود. تو عروسیم، بچه دار شدنم. به امید روزیم که یه روز به بچه هم بگم پدر من کی بوده. تنها چیزی که منو قانع میکنه میدونین چیه؟ اینه که فکر میکنم پدرم کارهایی رو که میخواست و خوشحالش میکرد و تا این سن کرد و دیگه این دنیا واسش خیلی کوچیک بود. باید میرفت به جایگاه اصلی خودش. سفرت به خیر و بی بلا میسپارم تو رو دست خدا. به امید روز دیدار عشق تو برام نگهدار. هرچند که با رفتنش انگار یک کشتی روی دریا سرگردان شد، ولی خدا رو شکر میکنم که خدا اگه پدرم رو برد فرشته هایی مثل عموم و زن عموم رو گذاشت تو زندگی من. بعضی از کارهای عموم عین بابامه. انگار که بابامو میبینم وقتی عمومو بغل میکنم و بو میکنم همون حس داره. با بابام که حرف میزنم بهش میگم بابا خیالت راحت باشه، عمو کنارم هست. گرچه جای تو همیشه خالیه، گاهی کار دل فقط بیتابیه، تو روزای سردی دلگرمی هست که میگه اصل هوا آفتابیه. بچه که بودم یه دسته چک عشق داشتم. مامان و بابامو که اذیت میکردم براشون چک عشق میکشیدم. بهشون میدادم با این قول که دیگه اذیتشون نکنم. دختر لوس بابام بودم. اسم منو رو بازوش تتو کرده بود. هر وقت باهاش قهر میکردم میومد بالا سرم این شعر رو میخون: از دست عزیزان چه بگویم، گله‌ای نیست، گله‌ای نیست، گر هم گله‌ای هست دگر حوصله‌ای نیست. تا اینو میخون من میزدم زیر خنده، با هم آشتی میکردیم. یه دونم دفترچه قول داشتیم واسه قولایی که به هم میدادیم. مثلا من مینوشتم من قول میدم که بابا اگه واسه من ماشین بخره من تا 6 ماه دیگه ازش چیزی نخوام. بابام مینوشت من قول میدم که واسه عسل ماشین بخرم. هر دومون زیرشو امضا میکردیم، انگشت میزدیم، تمام سفر رو قلب و شکلک میکشیدیم. من همیشه زیر قولم میزدم ولی بابام همیشه سر قولش وای میسد. این روزا تو دفتر قولمون نوشتم بابا قول بده که همیشه نظاره‌گر کارای من باشی. قول بده که همیشه نظاره‌گر کارای من باشی. میدونم امضا کرده. آخه بابام با اینکه نیست همه جا هست.
یاور همیشه مومن، تو برو سفر سلامت، غم من نخور که دوری برای من شده عادت، ناجیه شعرم از تو جون گرفته، رگ خشک بودن من از تن تو خون گرفته. اگه مدیون تو باشم، اگه از تو باشه جونم، قدر اون لحظه نداره که منو دادی نشونم. یاور همیشه مومن، تو برو سفر سلامت.
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me.
We met on February 22nd, 2001. I was working at the American airline desk in LAX. Anoosh needed to make some changes in a ticket, and the airline personnel told him that he had to come to the airport. It was a very busy day, and he waited patiently in line. I was working on a transaction with a passenger and it was taking long. It was his turn, but he wouldn't go. He sent the next person and the next person to the counter and told everybody that I want to see that girl. So when finally it was his turn, he came up to me and said, "Do you know how long I had to wait here?" And then he started complimenting me and asking me all kinds of questions. "You have long fingers. Are you a hand model?" "No," I said. "Are you married?" "No," I said. "Do you have a boyfriend?" "No, I don't have a boyfriend." "Huh, you don't have a boyfriend? Aren't you bored?" "You don't want to have a boyfriend?" I said, "Why don't I want to have a boyfriend?" I said, "I don't have anybody in my life now." "How come you're not married?" he asked. "You don't want to get married?" "Why don't I want to get married?" He asked too many questions. "Aren't you here to change your ticket?" "Yes," he said. "And this is for a girl. Can a guy have lots of friends?" When I finished the transaction, he asked me out, and the rest is history. He introduced me to his parents the first night. There was something special about him, nothing I have ever seen before. It was close to Persian New Year, and almost every night he took me to a different party, and I got to know his family and friends from early on. He said, "I want my family to be your family." And it happened as he wanted it. My love for him grew more and more each day. And in May 2001, he asked me to move in with him. He involved me in everything. He never hid anything from me. He had many female friends, but he taught me not to be jealous. They all became my friends as well. He used to say, "Life is like a tree. We put you on top of the tree, but there are people on the tree." He was a faithful man. I loved him more than anybody I loved before. I was so blessed to have him in my life for over 13 years. He was a gift from God. Did you know he had the list of people who wanted to donate their kidneys? But I was the lucky one. I was blessed to be a match for him. He gave me everything. That was nothing compared to what he gave me. How did I hear the news? I was at home with two of our friends that he invited, and like many other times, he forgot to tell me about it. I got a call from Akbar telling me that Anoosh Jun's father is in the hospital and he's coming to pick me up to go to the hospital. I thought to myself, perhaps because Anoosh Jun is at soccer field, Akbar is coming to pick me up. I left the girls at home and went to the hospital in Marina del Rey with Akbar. When we got to the hospital, before going in, Akbar said, "Michelle, it's not Baba Jun. It is Anoosh Jun." I couldn't believe my ears. When we walked into the hospital, I saw everybody crying. And I was told that he didn't make it.
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams,
It seemed impossible because he was so full of life. I always thought he's immortal. He asked me once, "What do you want?" I told him, "I want to be with you forever." He said, "I am with you." And he kept his promise. He's always with me. Even though I can't see him, I know he's always with me.
Will you show me how it feels to feel the sky within my reach? And I always will remember all the strength you gave to me. Your love made me make it through. Oh, I owe so much to you. You were right there for me. In my dreams, I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart, there'll always be a place for you for all my life. I'll keep a part of you with me, and everywhere I am, there you'll be. 'Cause I always saw you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever
My name is Burcu. I'm from Turkey. I came to the US in the summer of 2004 and met an angel. Anoosh came to my life as a big, beautiful, loving surprise. He came to me and said, I heard you speaking. You must be Middle Eastern." Let me tell you what happened. I knew she was Middle Eastern by the way she was expressing herself. I gave her my business card and told her, "Give me 2 hours of your life and I change your life." She looked at me. She said, "Who the hell is this guy?" She called me the same day. It was in the afternoon. I was playing soccer. I told her, "I will come and pick you up after the game." I got there all sweaty. So as soon as I picked her up, I told her, "First, we have to go home because I have to take shower." It was a 25 minutes drive and the traffic was heavy. I was giving her my usual speech, what I was going to do for her and what she's going to be in her life. When I was done, she said, "But I'm not going to have sex with you." I told her, "For your reference, I'm blonde blue. We call it BB." We went home. Michelle was not home. I took a quick shower and we went out. Accidentally, I took her to the same restaurant that her friends took her the night before for her birthday. As soon as we got into the restaurant, she was like, oh my God, this is karma, this is karma. Who are you? Oh my God. And she was touching me and I said, no sex. Just touch, just talk. That is how the whole story started. She called me the next morning, 6 a.m. I was saying, she was asking me, where are you? I need to talk to you. I said, we just left each other. And then I sent Michelle to pick her up. After seeing Michelle, she felt more secure. And from there on, she was calling me every 5 minutes with some new issues. And every time I told her, always be focused and be strong. Then we go from there. I bought her first car, but I told her, you have to pay me back every penny of it. You have to realize that nothing in life comes for free. I'm going to make you a responsible girl. Today, I bought her the car. Third day, she called me asking for a computer. And on and on and on. But she worked 3-4 jobs and paid me back every dime of it. I told her she was my project, and I love to see her fly.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I would fly high than an eagle.
It was hard to believe that someone would come to your life and do something great for you without expecting anything in return. The only thing he asked was to return a favor by helping others. In 2006, I lost my father. I told Anoosh, you are my father now. You invested in me. You made me responsible. You made me strong. You made me believe in me. When I met him, I was a student at UCLA. Today, I'm teaching at UCLA. His project in life was to touch lives, to flourish, and to help each soul to fly. He taught me to work hard for my dreams. He taught me to fly.
خدا حافظ ای شعر شب‌های روشن خدا حافظ ای قصه عاشقانه خدا حافظ ای آبی روشنه خدا حافظه عطر شعر شبانه
اول پسر 11 سالم رفت زیر ماشین، بعد همسرم رفت، بعد انوش. الهی کسی داغ نبینه. بعد از انوش چندین بار بیمارستان بستری شدم. دکتر میگه برای تنهایی دوایی نیست. دلم براش تنگ میشه. هر روز باهاش بودم، سر به سرم میذاش، کلامو بر میداشت، کجکی میذاش. با هم شوخی میکرد. با مامانش هم همینطور بود. دنبالش میکرد، قلقلکش میداد. دلم براش تنگ میشه. من اون روز باهاش بودم. مثل همیشه با هم رفتیم سر زمین فوتبال. حالش خوب بود، خوشحال بود. هوا خیلی گرم بود. ساعت 6 بعد از ظهر بازی شروع شد. مثل همیشه انوش که بازی میکرد، من یه مقدار دور زمین راه میرفتم و بعد میشستم تماشا. ساعت حدودای 7:45 بود. هوا داشت کم کم تاریک میشد. نشسته بودم تماشا میکردم. دیدم انوش یهو نشست رو زمین. گفت آب بده. بعدم افتاد رو زمین. کم کم همه دورش جمع شدن. نمیتونست نفس بکشه. بهش تنفس مصنوعی دادن. اورژانس رو خبر کردن. اونا میگفتن بهشون که چی کار کنین. 16-17 تا از همبازیاش دورش جمع شده بودن. یه عده دعا میخوندن. من وایساده بودم گریه میکردم. یه از همه میپرسیدم حالش خوبه؟ حالش خوبه؟ به سختی نفس میکشید. دیدم یهو بی حرکت شد. 3 بار فریاد کشیدم که صدام به آسمون برسه. انوش! 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 ولی یه تکونی خورد. آمبولانس اومد، بردنش بیمارستان. زنگ زدم به اکبر. گفتم بدو بیا. بدو بیا، انوش حالش خوب نیست. برو میشل و ورد و بیار. با انوش تو بیمارستان خداحافظی کردم. رفتم ماچش کردم. گفتم خدا ایشالله عاقبت تو اون دنیا به خیر کنه. منو زود گذاشتی رفتی. دلم براش تنگ میشه.
خدا حافظ ای شعر شب پای روشن، خدا حافظ ای قصه عاشقانه، خدا حافظ ای آبی روشن خدا حافظ ای عطر شعر شبانه.
عسل خانم لبخند. Be strong. تو دختر انوشی. قوی باش. I guess you guys really miss me, huh? As Paul said, I survived dialysis. I survived kidney transplant. But I couldn't survive my destiny. It wasn't about the weather. It was about time. My time was up. Said Qasemian, where are you? Thank you for inviting me to the game. the soccer field was the happier place on earth for me. You said it right. Soccer was food for my soul. I was conscious of my limitation. I played the game as I lived my life. Simple. I knew some of you didn't like me to play with you, and you perhaps rather to have a stronger player with you. But you guys should know that every time I came to play, it was the highlight of my game. Thank you for letting me be a part of the game. Peter Futuhi, where are you? Are you here? Did you tell him that in the last party that we were together, I told you that if I ever die, I wanted to be in the soccer field? Guess what, buddy? I got my wish. I got a good ride out of life. Many happy moments, many. But I remember the surprise party that I planned for you and Khadija's 15th anniversary. Wow. برادر یادت میاد؟ I showed up at his door with all his friends, relatives, co-workers. Michael opened the door and he was shocked. There was a line of good friends and family coming in one after another, each with a dish in their hand. Then came a truck with everything needed for a great party. I even set up a live band for everybody to dance all night long. Remember, Baradar? I still get a kick out of it. Michael Maved, that is right, Baradar. I was the bridge between you and the family. Now you have two choices. Either find another bridge or become a bridge. You all know I hated goodbyes, but I did my best. Paul, where are you? Remember I called you to remind you to bring your chips to the poker game the night before? I wanted to hear your voice for the last time. Gus, I came to your home that day, remember? You were busy with the broken refrigerator at work. Remember? You used to tease me about my high level of self-esteem. He was always telling me, you are a bald-headed guy with big tummy and small eyes. What do you got that you dare to go out with these beautiful girls? I got charm, buddy. You forgot about my charm. Paris, you were my first soccer ball, buddy. Remember we used to play soccer in the alleys in Mazandaran? When there was no TV, no video game, no telephone, we played soccer from dawn to dusk. Paris, remember you got rid of that employee and he came back to work the next day? I told him to come back. He had a family to support. Everybody deserves a second chance. By the way, thank you for the ball that you sent with me. Did you really think that there was no soccer ball in heaven? Thank you. آزاد گوشی رو بردار. I heard you were angry at me going to game that day. I heard you were cussing. It wasn't about playing soccer. It was about time. I love the time that we spent together in the plane, remember? In my last trip to Iran. Remember I told you how much I hate to lose my freedom? To be tied down or to be hospitalized? It was hard for me to be seated for a long time. Don't you remember? Sometimes I even played poker standing up. As we were always saying, Azad, life is a fun game of cards. You just have to know how to play your cards. This is the hand I was dealt. This is the card I got to play. Losing both kidney at age 52. Come on, can I at least keep one? Heartbroken divorce. Did you shuffle? Born into a loving family, having a dedicated partner and great friends. Have a most beautiful daughter in the world, jigar baba to die for. Die while playing football, my ultimate passion. I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna go all in. از قیافه هیچ کدومتون خوشم نمیاد. No easy way out. I'm gonna go all in. What do you got? I got a good ride in life. Let's all go for dinner now. Michael ordered the food, but the weather, I ordered it. It came from heaven. Enjoy.